Namaste everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today on the 28th of October, we celebrate the birth anniversary of a radiant soul, Sister Nivedita. Born as Margaret Elizabeth Noble in Ireland in 1867, she would later become the spiritual daughter of Swami Vivekananda, a woman whose life became a sacred offering at the feet of Mother India. She came not to teach, but to serve, not to seek comfort, but to dedicate herself completely to the awakening of India. Swami Vivekananda once said, Nivedita is the very embodiment of service and sacrifice. Today, as we remember a divine journey, let us revisit the sacred moment when this meeting of souls between the Master and his disciple changed the destiny of both and of India herself. On the same day, 28th October in the year 1867, Miss Margaret E. Noble, who would later become Sister Nivedita, was born. Miss Margaret Noble, a direct disciple of Swami Vivekananda and his spiritual daughter, consecrated her life to women's education in India. She also espoused the cause of India's political freedom and inspired many of its leaders with her written and spoken words. Miss Noble was born in Northern Ireland in 1867. Both her grandfather and her father were Protestant ministers in the Wesleyan Church and took active part in the political agitation for the freedom of Ireland. After finishing her college education, Margaret took the position of a teacher at Keswick, where contact with the High Church stirred her religious emotions. Even before she met Swami Vivekananda, Miss Noble was unconsciously preparing the ground for her future activities in India. At this time, Margaret suffered a cruel blow. She was deeply in love with a man and even set the wedding date. But another woman suddenly snatched him away. A few years before, another young man to whom she was about to be engaged had died of tuberculosis. These experiences shocked her profoundly, and she began to take a more serious interest in religion. Miss Noble first met Swami Vivekananda on a Sunday evening in the drawing room of Lady Isabel Margeson. He was to address a group of people on Hindu thought. Miss Noble was one of the last to arrive. The Swami sat facing her. A coal fire burnt on the earth behind him. She noticed that he was tall and well built and possessed an air of deep serenity. The effect of his long practice of meditation was visible in the gentleness and loftiness of his look. He chanted some Sanskrit verses. Miss Noble was impressed by his melodious voice. She heard the Swami say, among other things, all our struggle is for freedom. We seek neither misery nor happiness, but freedom, freedom alone. It was at first difficult for Miss Noble to accept Swami Vivekananda's views. But before he left London, she had begun to address him as Master, recalling those first meetings in London and their decisive influence on her life. Nivedita wrote in 1904 to a friend, "Suppose you had not come to London that time, life would have been like a headless dream, for I always knew that I was waiting for something. I always said that a call would come, and it did. But if I had known more of life, I doubt whether, when the time came, I should certainly have recognized it. Fortunately, I knew little and was spared the torture. Always I had this burning voice within, but nothing to utter. How often and often I sat down, pen in hand, to speak, and there was no speech. And now there is no end to it. As surely I am fitted to my world, so surely is my world in need of me, waiting, ready. The arrow has found its place in the bow. But if he had not come, if he had meditated on the Himalayan peaks, I for one had never been here." Margaret had attended the Swami's classes and lectures in London and resolved to dedicate her life to his work in India. When she expressed to him a desire to come to India, the Swami wrote to her on July 29, 1897, "Let me tell you frankly that I am now convinced that you have a great future in the work for India." Miss Noble came to India on January 28, 1898, to work with Miss Muller for the education of Indian women. The Swami warmly introduced her to the public of Calcutta as a gift of England to India, and in March made her take the vow of Brahmacharya. He also gave her the name of Nivedita, the dedicated, by which she has ever since been cherished by the Indians with deep respect and affection. The ceremony was performed in the chapel of the monastery. He first taught her how to worship Shiva and then made the whole ceremony culminate in an offering at the feet of Buddha. "Go thou," he said, "and follow him who was born and gave his life for others 500 times before he attained the vision of Buddha." The Swami now engaged himself in the training of Sister Nivedita along with the other Western disciples. And certainly it was a most arduous task. They were asked to associate intimately with the Holy Mother, who at once adopted them as her children. Then the Swami would visit them almost daily to reveal to them the deep secrets of the Indian world, its history, folklore, customs, and traditions. The Swami began to teach Nivedita to lose herself completely in the Indian consciousness. She gradually adopted the food, clothes, language, and general habits of the Hindus. "You have to set yourself," he said to her, "to Hinduize your thoughts, your needs, your conceptions, your habits. Your life, internal and external, has to become all that an orthodox brahmacharini is out to be. The method will come to you, if you only desire it sufficiently. But you have to forget your past and cause it to be forgotten." Thus lived Sister Nivedita, a soul who came from distant Ireland, but whose heart and spirit belonged only to Mother India. Swami Vivekananda once said, Nivedita is the very embodiment of sacrifice, service, and love. Our entire life became a sacred yajna, an offering to the upliftment of women, the awakening of the nation, and the realization of the divine in humanity. On her birth anniversary today, may her life remind us that true spirituality lies in selfless service, pure love, and total dedication to the divine. If her life inspired you, please subscribe to this channel for more divine stories and wisdom from the lives of great souls. Thank you for watching.